part 3 of chapter 21 on hair color, we talked about the double process hair color where hair lightening is done through bleach or through decolorizing. You want to show you how to use the 3 different forms of lighteners. There are oil lighteners, which are used on the scalp. Cream lighteners are also used on the scalp, but powder lighteners are off the scalp lighteners. On the scalp lighteners can be oil and cream, and they are the most popular. They're the mildest and they're appropriate for 1 to 2 levels of lift. Powdered off the scalp lighteners are called quick lighteners. They are not applied to the scalp. They are strong enough for blonding. They contain oxygen releasing boosters, and they dry out more quickly than other lighteners. They expand and they spread out during processing. There are time factors to be considered when using lighteners. Darker hair has more melanin and takes longer to lighten. Porosity influences the timing, tone influences timing, the strength of the product, and heat leads to quicker lightening. You want to make sure to do a preliminary strand test. Watch the strand carefully for its reaction to the lightening mixture, especially noting any discoloration or breakage. Reconditioning may be required prior to toning. If the test shows that the hair is not light enough, increase the strength of the mixture and/or increase the processing time. If the hair strand is too light, decrease the strength of the mixture and/or decrease the processing time. When you're performing a lightener retouch, you want to lighten the new growth first. Proceed as for a virgin lightener, except apply product to the new growth only. A cream lightener is generally used for a lightener retouch. Overlapping can cause severe breakage and lines of demarcation. When you're learning how to use toners, you've got to think about contributing pigment. Read your manufacturer's literature and you can use these on under-lightened hair as well. Toner applications, your speed and accuracy are both important factors in the application and will determine to a large extent whether you get good color results. The procedure for applying low or non-peroxide toners may vary, so always check with your instructor for directions. If you're creating special effect hair coloring techniques, you can do so by coloring some strands lighter than the natural hair, add a variety of lighter shades for an illusion of depth. It does not contrast strongly with the natural color, and light colors cause the light to advance towards the eye and appear larger to make details much more visible. There are also processes called reverse highlighting. This is called low lighting. Some strands can be colored darker than the natural hair. It causes receding and smaller appearance in the darker areas. There are different ways that we can highlight the hair. One is called cap technique. Cap technique involves pulling clean strands of hair through a perforated cap with a thin plastic or metal hook. The number of strands pulled through the cap determines the degree of lightening that's achieved. We also perform foil techniques. This involves coloring selected strands by either slicing or weaving out sections and placing them on foil or plastic wrap, apply the lightener or permanent hair color, and seal them in the wrap. If we're slicing, that involves making a straight part at the scalp, positioning a narrow 1/8 inch section of hair over the foil and applying the lightener or the color. If we're weaving the hair, it involves selecting strands that are picked up using a zigzag motion of the comb. Then we have another technique called balayage. This involves painting product onto clean, styled hair. It's also known as free-form technique. If you are toning highlighted and dimensionally colored hair, you have to decolorize to the desired level. Consider the porosity and the pigmentation differences from strand to strand. Avoid affecting untreated hair. Use non-oxidative toner use traditional semi-permanent color, or use no lift deposit only demi-permanent color that will not cause additional lightening. There are also highlighting shampoos. These can be used when a slight change in color is desired, when your hair processes very rapidly, to highlight natural color in a single application, but please remember that a patch test is required.